Welcome back, YouTube. This is Dave Lucas with Injection Molding Skills and More. So today's video, we are going to go over the 4 key process variables, okay? So in any process that you have to start off with this, is what I always say. So going through this is what I usually start off with. I'll start off with the melt temperature. Your melt temperature is the temperature of the plastic as it is entering the mold. Critical for flowability, bonding, and preventing degradation. So think about this. Every time you start a new job, you always get like a material cert or the material supplier sends you over what your specs are going to be. So let's say you're running like a polypropylene. Maybe your temperatures are going to be between 350, 380 to 425, 450, somewhere around in that area, okay? This will help you out on the melt temperature because you need to know that. So what you'll do is you'll set this up, get your barrel heats correct, use a pyriometer or something to check the material that comes out the end of the nozzle. You'll set that up, you'll check it to see how the temperature is coming out of there. Remember, your back pressure actually affects your melt. So there's a bunch of if, ands, or buts into that. So think about that too at the same time. The next thing you'd want to do is you want to go to the injection speed or flow rate, okay? So on injection rate at which the molten plastic is injected into the mold influences flow patterns, participity, and likelihood of defects like short shots or burn marks, okay? So on this one, if your flow rate, let's say your flow rate's the same every single time. So me personally, what I always do is I do the first one, get my melt temperature where I want it to be at. Then I'll do inject a part. Most companies, whenever you're doing a PPAP sample or something like that, you'll know what the shot size is supposed to be on your part that you're actually getting ready to mold. Some people don't, so you're kind of like guessing. So you'll start off with a fill rate of what you think it might be to fill that part out, and you want to fill that part to about 95 to 98%. As you're filling it, you're going in a little bit, or you're adding your shot size until you get the part to where the part is almost filled all the way out, and then that'll tell you where you want to be at here as far as your flow rate. Remember on this flow rate too though, if you have this setting here, you could go to any other press that is the same size tonnage press, and you can put that same flow rate into another press and basically run that part on another press with the same process almost, doing it with the process that you have. The next one would be injection pressure. So after I get the fill rate where I want it to be to where the part is about 95 to 98% full, now I'm going to go with the pressure. You're going to take whatever pressure this is here, and you're going to be like, okay, so let's say it takes 1500 psi to fill that part, okay? You're going to cut that in half, okay? So it'd be what, 750? So you think about 750, so maybe I'd start off at maybe 500 psi and work my way up, because the lower the pressure, the better. So injection pressure, the force used to inject molten plastic into the molded cavity, affects how well the mold fills and the surface finish of the part. So the surface finish of the part, if you have too less of pack or the pressure here, what's going to happen is your surface finish is going to look like really crappy, really grainy looking. It won't look really good at all. So what I do is, once I get that flow rate where I want it to be at, I work on the pressure. I gradually bring it up. You can do like, once you get to that point where you want it to be at, most people do what they call a gate freeze study. That'll tell you how long of time you need, plus the pressure basically, because you're going to do pressure, you're going to go in increments. So you do your time, you'll go 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, 4 second, 5 second. You'll take all those parts and you'll weigh them all. And then that'll tell you exactly what your time should be for your injection time, the pressure of holding that pressure there. The next thing I go to would be your mold temperature or your cooling phase. Remember, the cooling phase of a machine is pretty much the whole process, the whole cycle time. I always tell people takes up at least 3/4 of the cycle time. It don't take long for it to the melt temperature, to inject the material, to get it into the mold. All that other stuff doesn't take that long. The cooling phase of the process takes the longest. So if you can take and figure out how long the cooling time you need, so the temperature of the mold itself affects cooling time, surface finish, and dimensional accuracy of the parts. Okay, so think about that. The faster you can get the material into the mold and then have the mold open and get that part out, that's what you're looking for. So your cooling channels, open time, mold open, mold close, anything on the outside of that except for the cooling time itself. So there might be a part that you're running that might be 1/2 pound to 1 pound part or something. It might take a lot longer to cool it because you don't want it to warp or, you know, have different dimensions that are affecting on you. Like it'll do all kinds of different things on you. So, I know I'm rambling on, but I want you to understand that. These variables must be precisely controlled and balanced to ensure consistent quality and minimize defects and optimize your cycle time. So like I said, you could take this personally and use this towards a brand new process if you're thinking about it. So let's say you have a process, you come in, first thing I would do, check your melt, make sure your melt on the barrel's good on that press, because that barrel on that press might be different on another barrel. So like you said, you could take this and go from one press to another, but I'd check the melt, make sure your melt's where you want to be. Then check the speed of the press to make sure the speed of the material going in there. So you can do like what they call it, a linearity test. No, I think it's something like that. I'll have to look into it. I can't remember exactly, but your injection pressure, make sure you're actually getting the pressure that you say you're getting. And then your mold temperature. So you can do like pyranometers and stuff like that on the surface temperature and that, plus your cooling time. So take your cooling time down as far as you can get it down to where the part starts acting up on you or looking kind of funny or whatever, and then just creep up on it. Like I said, the whole time you can do a gate freeze study here to find out what that time and pressure would be, more or less. Whatever your pressure is here, if it's 1500, cut it in half to go to here and then go here. These are some of the things that I do whenever I get a brand new tool in. This is some of the things I try. I might not be 100% accurate of what I'm saying on here, but being in the molding industry as long as I have, this is kind of like a standard staple of what I go by when I say the 4 key process variables. These are what I go by. So I always go by melt temperature, I always go by speed or flow rate, pressure, and then cooling. That's what I always go by. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative to you guys. Let me know in the comment section down below if you like this kind of video, if you didn't like this kind of video. Let me know what I can give you guys more, what you guys are looking for out there as far as molding techniques, troubleshooting, stuff like that. And also, I think next week I'm going to start doing the quizzes again. I took all the quizzes down that I used to have on there. I took them all down. I'm going to start over with the quizzes again, and I'm going to redo those to where I'm giving back to you guys a little bit on quizzes. So I'll start on Tuesdays giving 1 quiz, and then I'll give you until Thursday to give me the answer of what you think it might be, and then I'll give you the answer on Thursdays, okay? I appreciate all the support to the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. Click that button down there in the corner, whatever corner it is. I don't know which corner I got it in, but click that button. It helps the channel grow. It helps other people find the channel. I really do appreciate all the support to the channel. Till next time, peace.